Please welcome Miss Supranational Philippines 2024, 𝗦𝗨𝗣𝗥𝗔𝗡𝗪. 𝗦𝗨𝗣𝗥𝗔𝗡, happy to finally meet you. Thanks for joining. And could you please briefly introduce yourself to our audience?
Hi, Ivan. It's a pleasure to meet you, and I'm really excited doing this. So, mabuhay! I am 𝗦𝗨𝗣𝗥𝗔𝗡𝗪, your Miss Supranational Philippines 2024. I am 21 years old, currently studying economics in one of the top universities here in the Philippines, and I deeply advocate in promoting and preserving the culture and cultural identity of the Filipinos because I value the way of life of the Filipinos, and I would want to showcase that here in Miss Supranational.
Thank you very much, 𝗦𝗨𝗣𝗥𝗔𝗡. Great to meet you, and welcome to the Super Family. Miss Supranational Philippines, 𝗦𝗨𝗣𝗥𝗔𝗡, your personal question. How did being the eldest of 4 daughters help to shape your personality?
As the eldest among 4 daughters, I always had that sense of responsibility to look after them since we have a wide generational age gap. They are 14 years old, 10 years old, and 4 years old. So being the eldest always puts me in a position where I need to take action, I need to lead, and that inspired me to be a leader even when I was growing up and being elected always as a class officer in school. And now, how did it shape me? I am joining Miss Supranational to have a bigger platform to lead, not just for myself, but for other people, to take responsibility for them. And for me, to lead and to serve is the true mission of a Miss Supranational ambassador.
Thank you for your answer, 𝗦𝗨𝗣𝗥𝗔𝗡. Great meeting you. Next up, we have a question for Miss Supranational Philippines, 𝗦𝗨𝗣𝗥𝗔𝗡, from 𝗫𝗍𝗫𝗍. This is your Miss Supranational fans nickname. By the way, I would like to thank once again all fans who submitted their questions. They're all brilliant. And I hope, 𝗦𝗨𝗣𝗥𝗔𝗡, you'll be happy with yours. What excites you the most about your super journey?
Oh, this is fun. For me, the most exciting part would be showcasing our national costume because I myself is advocating for the preservation of cultural identity. And so being able to see others' culture through what they are wearing and experience their way of life really interests me. Like, what are the different foods that you can put while wearing a costume, and that what's a beautiful place that you can incorporate while wearing that national costume. So that would be my greatest excitement, learning from each other with my sisters and being able to know them and their country.
Thanks for your answer, 𝗦𝗨𝗣𝗥𝗔𝗡. Interesting. We're looking forward to seeing your national costume. Now it's time for Miss Supranational Philippines, 𝗦𝗨𝗣𝗥𝗔𝗡, to answer today's general question. 𝗦𝗨𝗣𝗥𝗔𝗡, do you think people should aspire to be the same as their biggest role models? Why or why not?
If I may share, my biggest role model would be Michelle Obama because she came from a humble beginning, yet she was able to pursue being a lawyer and becoming the First Lady of the United States. And that fact resonate with myself since I also came from a humble background. And yet I am here in Miss Supranational showcasing the true authentic beauty of not just myself, but the whole Filipino community. And so I would say, yes, it is really good that you have a role model that you aspire to be because you will have a good person to follow. And it will always give you inspiration whenever you doubt yourself, whenever you feel lonely or down. You would always think of that person and it will just light up your face and light up your day as if you can also be like her and duplicate the success that she does.
Thank you very much for your answer. And looking Miss Supranational Curaçao, Chanel, happy to meet you. Welcome to the Super Family, and thanks for joining SupraChat tonight. Could you please briefly introduce yourself to our Supranational audience?
Hi, everyone. My name is Chanel Delao. I'm currently the reigning Miss Supranational Curaçao 2024, And I'm just super excited, or super excited rather, to be a part of such an amazing organization, an opportunity to be back in a pageant 7 years later. I personally am someone who's very passionate. Many consider myself to be an old soul with a childlike sense of wonder. I'm always up for just any adventure, and I feel like that speaks about me the loudest. I'm a very patient person. I feel like life has given me those trials and tribulations that have made me grown as a spirit in the last 8 years, I would say. And I'm incredibly passionate about storytelling. I'm passionate about looking after for those most vulnerable in my community. Those most vulnerable to me, I would consider the elderly and the youth. I feel like the youth is very close to our future, and they are the ones who build our future. And I think that the elderly also are very close to the wisdom that we derive to make this world a better place. So I would say I'm passionate about those two areas the most. I'm really excited to give this pageant my all, and I'm super excited to put Curacao back on the map once again.
Thank you, Chanel. Great to meet you. Miss Supranational Curacao, Chanel, here's your personal question. Tell us about how you have managed to go after one of your biggest dreams.
So one of my biggest dreams, I would say, is to make the From the Ground Up community be realized all across the world. I feel as though that with my foundation, Stichting Chanel de Lau, it would be the biggest challenge yet for me to realize my From the Ground Up project in multiple communities all over the world as the hopeful next ambassador for Miss Supranational. What I love most about this community project is that I'm seeing hands-on how so many people with their hearts in the right place are making things happen. Being so integrated in the process, being hands-on to help, in this case, renovate a nursing home in Curacao has been just a wondrous process. I love how things have been divinely aligned for the right people to come on my path to help sponsor and make this project a reality. Curaçao's nursing home is Bethesda. This is the largest nursing home we have. And I made it my foundation's mission to improve one of the areas where the elderly spend the most time. So this is something that I feel would help improve their day-to-day life. And what I stand by is by making sure that when you meet a person, when you enter a place, you leave it better than you found it. So I would love for this to be realized all across the world in different countries in collaboration with those who can make it a reality. At the end of the day, I feel that teamwork is something that is priceless. It, to me, represents the ability to make something greater than what you left it in a way that the sum of its parts, the sum of all the parts, all the individuals who implemented what they do best, make it something greater in the end. So that's something that I've seen hands-on. I see, one person putting their blood, sweat, and tears in what they can apply to the project and in reality make something happen. It's essentially turning lead into gold. So one of my dreams is to ensure that all across the world, we do this in different countries.
Thank you, Chanel. Mr. Supranational Curacao, Chanel, here's your question from the super fans. What is the biggest obstacle women in your country face?
I would say this is something on a global scale, not just in my country. I feel like in ways the feminine energy needs to hone in on their existing power and how they can move mountains in their community. And what I've said that in my reign, I would love to encourage them to tap into their self-confidence, to ensure that they move through that in just any which way they want to apply themselves. The thing is, coming from a smaller country, from a tinier country, sometimes we are subject to a limiting belief system, which I've been also subject to at some point. And I had to just expand my mind and believe in myself to make sure that I didn't allow that to restrict me in any way in how I express myself and how I move and make decisions in my career. So I feel coming from a tinier country, when we move into bigger crowds, when we expand into bigger countries, sometimes we walk with that limiting belief system. So I would love for my participation at Miss Supranational to show them that, hey, it doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter the resources, small or large, you too can make a difference and you too can encourage others to do the same. So that's what I would like to highlight to the women in my community. Never let your circumstances hinder you from reaching for the stars.
Great. Thank you, Chanel. Chanel, Miss Supranational Curaçao, now it's your time to answer today's general question, which goes like this. Do you think people should aspire to be the same as their biggest role models? Why or why not?
I feel that's a double-edged sword. I feel like while we should never idolize people too much, I'm personally a believer that no one should come before the divine, before God, our creator. I feel like it's always great to draw from inspiration from others, but understand that you have an authentic light within yourself. And if you nurture that light and you let it shine, you can surpass the people you idolize and put on a pedestal. I feel like when you build that connection with God, that you emanate that light within, and you'll find your own sense of authenticity and uniqueness that can spread to others. So I would say yes and no, draw inspiration from them, but never put them on a pedestal where you feel you can't reach for the stars too. So I would say yes and no. That's cool.
Perfect. Very wise answer.